Welcome to everyone. Our guest today is MMA fighter Greg Hopkins. Thank you so much for accepting the interview invitation. So, what can you say in general about yourself? In few sentences, some general guidelines, please.
I'm sorry, what?
What can you say about yourself? I mean, your titles, achievements.
As far as my MMA career goes, I mean, I started wrestling at an early age. My dad got me into it because he was in Taekwondo. He was black belt, third degree. I don't know what he was really, to be honest. He was a Taekwondo guy and a kickboxer, and taught me how to defend myself at an early age, really young. Got a set of boxing gloves when I was 3, and that Christmas morning was not pleasant in the Hopkins household, but that's when I started learning how to fight and wrestled all the way up through college. After college, there really isn't no outfit to have, no professional setting for that except for MMA. So I decided to go that route.
Outstanding. So, when did you officially started training MMA?
After high school, I wasn't so certain I was going to go and wrestle in college. So I started out at like 19, 20 years old. I went and just rolled around with a few guys and found out that jiu-jitsu was a lot different than wrestling, and it's kryptonite. If you know how to use it well, if you're good with it, you can beat a wrestler. So got in there with a bunch of jiu-jitsu guys and got humbled and learned that there's so many different disciplines out there to a full fight, and then had my first fight at 20 years old. And from there, I guess 20 years old and on is when I've been off and on with it my whole life, really.
Who are your coaches and sparring partners at the moment?
Sparring partners at the moment, I got a bunch of them. There's too many to name at a Gogi. Combatives, but coaches are Sterling Peace, Matt Harris, Larry Scott. My dad, Greg Hopkins Sr., for the most part, my whole life coaching me. And then sparring partners, I got Logan Neal, Craig Finch. I got who else is in there? There's a ton of them. We got Bubba Cruz, Torres Feeney, Chance Gilbride's on the rise too, Dalton Smith, Kenny Irwin. I got Richard Guerrero. There's a bunch of them, and too many to name. And then there's jiu-jitsu guys on top of that. Our gym's blowing up here in Chattanooga. It's getting so big. We've had so many people come in and out since we've been open. So it's hard to name all of them.
Awesome. Which is your favorite submission?
Favorite submission? All of them, really. I mean, just to be honest, I don't have a favorite because I'm not. I don't have any. I guess rear naked choke would be my go-to, just because I like to take people's backs and just be a little human backpack if I'm able to.
Do you have a favorite strike?
Favorite strike is overhand right.
Outstanding, really much great. Do you have a nickname?
No nickname. No nickname at all. I've had a lot of people try to give me one in the past years, but I just none of them stuck. None of them at all have stuck yet.
All right. About your first amateur fight, how hard it was on the scale from 1 to 10?
My first amateur fight, actually, I made it to weigh-ins. We both weighed in. Then the day of the fight, we showed up, and my opponent was like ghost. We didn't know what happened, so I was like, all right, I made 155 for that fight, and then I didn't get the fight. And we traveled and everything, and then my coach called me the next day, and I told him I was going to take a week off after that fight because I was just drained and tired. And he said, he called me the next day and asked me if I wanted to fight, in 2 weeks. And I told him no. And he asked why, and I was like, because I can't cut that weight again. And so we decided we'd fight at 170. And then the guy comes in weighing 185 for my first amateur fight. And I still wanted to fight, though. But I mean, I got a knockout in 33 seconds, I think it was, for that first amateur fight. So it wasn't too hard. It was actually a fun experience for me. But, it's different now. Up in these pro ranks, all these guys can take a beating. They can all take a hit. And that's 50% of a fight. If you can take an ass whooping and deliver one, you're a pretty good fighter. You got to be able to take one, though, too.
Yeah, I agree about that. Who was your toughest amateur opponent?
Toughest amateur opponent by far was Trevor Peak out of, I think it's Henniger, Ider, Alabama. Boy's tough. He's pro now, and we probably will cross paths again. Maybe I can avenge that one. Maybe not. We'll just see where we both are in life at this point in time.
About professional debut, were you afraid before the fight? That's a big step up. It's amateur to pro. It's a big difference for many fighters. How did you feel heading into professional debut?
Yeah, it was a huge transition, big jump because now it really counts. And if you think about it that way, yeah, it is a big deal. But at the end of the day, it don't matter who, where, when, what, or anything for that matter. Because like if I get out of my car right now, I'm in Rock City right now, and if I get out of my car and some guy walking across the street from a Starbucks or something decides he wants to fight me, I'll probably be just as nervous as I would be, going into a cage, only knowing I'm not going to jail for, committing a crime and beating the hell out of somebody. But before that happens, I can't look at him and say, whoa, man, are you a pro fighter or are you an amateur or what weight class are you in? I can't judge my book on that. So yeah, of course, if you're not human, if you don't get nervous before going into a fight, especially, going in front of people, going up against a guy doing the same thing you are with the same goals in mind, who's been training just as long, if not longer than you. So yeah, I do get nervous, but I think it helps loosen me up.
Yeah, I agree about that. What happened in your second professional fight? How did you finish Roy Sanders?
Roy Sanders was a ground and pound, kind of similar to this past fight. I went to lateral him, and when I went to throw him, he like kind of hooked over the back, like just kind of towered over me, and he landed on me, but we went over, and I got in a mountain. It got stopped via, referee stopped it.
How would you describe your fighting style? Are you aggressive fighter? Are you counter fighter? Are you ground and pound fighter? How would you say it?
More like an aggressive leech. I like to stay on my opponent, forward, progressive movement all the time. Try to keep them, suffer them. Just, clobber them with that, with just the pressure is all I like to be, a pressure fighter, a leechy pressure fighter. I like it.
You defeated Brian Jackson via verbal submission, right?
Yes, sir.
So how did that verbal submission happen?
Well, when we went to the ground, I hit him in the ribs with a right hook, and then I hit him with an overhand left. And when he went down to the ground, I don't know what he was trying to say, but he mumbled something under his breath, and it sounded like he said tap, 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 and he touched the back of his head. But when he came up, he was saying he didn't tap. He wasn't saying he was tapping. He was saying, don't try to tap me, but he did say tap. So the referee jumped in and stopped it because, if you see the fight, you'll know it wasn't going to get any better for him at that point in time.
Yeah, but that verbal submission rule is kind of odd, It's kind of weird in some situations. That's why I'm asking you. What can you say about your two fights against Jason King? And are you pleased with your performances in those fights? And can we maybe expect a third fight?
The performance of not the first time I wasn't too tremendously pleased with. I dropped him, and then I got disqualified from an illegal up kick, which it should have been a no contest because they never took a point away from me for malicious intent or nothing like that. I didn't do it. I didn't. It wasn't flagrant. Of course, yeah, I did it, but it wasn't with intentions of that kind of manner. So they disqualified me, and I lost. I didn't get the title. Jason gave it back. Said we'll have a rematch. I respected him enough for that matter because he didn't have to do that, but he did. And but I was real upset with that. Coming back into the second fight with Jason, I worked hard. I worked real hard on my pressure. I did, and as far as my performance goes, yeah, I felt great about it. I kept the pressure on him. I kept him working. I tired him out. I wanted to push him hard and make him get tired. And when I finally, got the drop to his back and lateraled him, it's kind of like he just gave up because I got on top of him in a mount and I was just like stern on him and I wasn't letting him up. And but I was pleased with my performance. But I'm not pleased with my cardio right now. I'm trying to get that back up to shape right now. That's what I need to get working on because after that fight, I don't know where we're going with it. I don't know where we're going or who's next, really.
What do you think of LRFC as a promotion?
VFC as a promotion is awesome, man. They're like the only one, and this is a literal case, one of the only promotions in the Southeast, if not the country, running right now and having fights going, other than like, the UFC and the Bellators and, the big promotion, big stages, But they're feeding fights, they're feeding amateurs, they're feeding pros, they're putting dinner on the table for us, man. They're allowing us a chance to fight, through all this COVID, everything. It's just, so as far as Valor goes, man, I love it. Eric Turner, Tim Loy, all them over there at Valor are doing a great job by providing everybody a chance to get out there and through this time, because they've had to cancel fights just like everybody else. Well, we don't get no money from that either. Like, once they cancel our fights, they don't say, "Oh, hey, since you're unemployed right now and you're not getting a paycheck, we're gonna help you out." They ain't helping nobody out. Nobody's getting any help, man. So you're talking to a bunch of broke, starving ass fighters right now that's trying to make it right now throughout this COVID pandemic, and I mean, like, I never thought that, this is the way life would be, and never did I think that I would win, my first pro title throughout this duration of the pandemic, Speaking of that, yeah, boy.
Would you like to add something to the interview? Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Really awesome. I like that belt, man. It's really awesome.
It's pretty sweet. It's a pretty one right there.
Yeah, it's a great belt. It looks really great, It's really great looking. Would you like to add something to the interview? Maybe to greet someone, maybe to give a shout out to somebody?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. Give a big, huge shout out to my friends and family. You guys know you're all my supporters. It's Came and everybody that follows Team Hopkins online, man, and, comes and supports me at all my fights and online, everywhere, man. I appreciate all you guys. All of my sponsors, Sisu Sauna, R3, Best Home Builders. I got Seal Surface and who is it? CrawLogic, Hemp House. Big shout out to them. And we got Royal Flush Plumbing, man. That's the king of the crapper. Good guys right there. And my coaches, I went over them, talked about them earlier. My girlfriend, Megan, my family, man. I can't, And a big, huge shout out to Valor for putting on these shows and letting us get out there and do that. I mean, like, this belt right here is another step into, what I want to do and where I want to be in life. I wish I would have got it done earlier in life, but, it's never too late,
Thank you so much for this. I will upload it tomorrow. Does it sound okay to you?
All right, man.
All right. Have a great day. Thank you, Greg.
You too. Thank you. Have a good one.
All right. Goodbye.